Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name is Acacia. Today I am going to be announcing my participation in February 2019's Thrillerathon. This goes from the 18th to the 24th and it is hosted by Harriet of Harriet Rosie. I will link her channel up in the cards. So let's dive into the TBR and the challenges. First challenge is to read a thriller that is your most anticipated. And for me, I have several of those. This one is just to fill the challenge and have a book for each challenge. If I end up doubling up, which is very potential, I will probably skip this one first because several of the books that I have in this TBR, there we go, are books that I am anticipating. So this one is just a bonus. This is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaud. This one's going to be interesting. This is the story of a woman who kills her husband and ends up going silent, and it's from the perspective of a psychologist trying to understand why she went silent and why she killed her husband. It's about an artist. It's really going to be intense. I'm very intrigued by it. We shall see how I feel about it. And that cover is super creepy. The more I look at it, the more creeped out I am. You can see like an eye here, and there's a mouth and a rip, and it's all a thing, and super weird. Yeah. Next, we have Read the Thriller that has been on your TBR the longest. This has been on my TBR for years. This is After the Eclipse, A Mother's Murder and a Daughter's Search by Sarah Perry. This is a memoir. It is a true crime, technically, but it's more focused on the victim than the murderer. And that is something that, after watching Mercedes' video, I will link it up in the cards, I feel somewhat guilty for my fascination with those who are the murderer. I am fascinated by murderers in a way that is probably unhealthy. I'm just always curious how someone's mind can go to that place. I honestly don't understand the idea of wanting to murder. I have had a lot of people in my life who I feel very strongly opposed to, but I've never considered their death an option. I just don't understand it. So I'm always curious, but this is focused on the mother and her death, and her life, and it's talking about the victim as a person and as a separate entity from the initial, from the trauma and the end of her life. So I'm very curious how this is going to go. This is going to be very different from other true crimes I've read, and I'm very intrigued. Next, I'm going to cheat a little bit and start this one early because it's about 500 pages very slowly, and see if I can get at least 200 pages down before the 18th, and then I'll probably finish it on the 18th around midnight. This is The Alienist by Caleb Carr. This came out in 1994. It is a historical fiction. I believe it's based on a real murder case. So they enlist the help of 3 people, one of which is a psychologist who is referred to as an alienist because, you know, mentally ill, alien, that makes sense. Takes place in 1896, and there's several murders happening. It's going to be dark. It's going to be weird, but I've heard that it's boring. I'm still very intrigued by it because I want to watch the show. Probably not the best idea for me. Probably not. But I am stubborn, and I watch things I should not, and I read things I should not, and I get myself all worked up and terrified. I'm good at that. So this one will probably be no different from that. So this is going to be interesting. I'm very intrigued by it. I was looking for this for a while in paperback, but I could only find it in a mass market, and I cannot handle mass market. I can't do it. It upsets me. It's so tiny, and it's so small, and there's so many pages for something that usually only has like 300 pages. It's ridiculous. So I just don't touch mass market. This I got in a hardcover. Book of the Month had it, which I added to my list, or my order. It was a very nice order. Thank you to my mister. Then we have Thriller with the best cover. We're going to get more murdery. This is James Ellroy's The Black Dahlia. Yeah. This is going to be interesting. This is the story of a woman found in Los Angeles who was very brutally murdered. And this is her story, or the story of the manhunt that goes on after her death. I've seen the movie, read the nonfiction about it. Very fascinated by the case, so I figured I would pick up the fictionalized depiction of it. See how it goes. It is tiny font though. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So we'll see how that goes. This one comes in at 337 pages, so that's not bad. That's totally doable if I can stomach going through quickly enough to get through 337 pages. I might get nervous halfway through and cancel. So, revisit a thriller, book, or author. I picked author. This is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This is the author of Final Girls. Yes. This is supposed to be about a summer camp, I believe. Yeah, I think a group of girls go out one night and only one comes back. And it's the story of that summer camp when that one girl who survived goes back to the summer camp to work as a counselor. It's going to be interesting. I'm very curious about it. I liked Final Girls. It was pretty easy. I whipped through it in about a night. One night of insomnia. So it was pretty simple. I'm hoping this will be about the same. It's a little gruesome, but it's not too over the top. It's a little bit of a slasher film kind of feel. But I wouldn't say it's like slasher too much. It's just kind of, it's like any horror movie that's kind of simple, like a Halloween kind of movie, if that makes sense. It's not too complicated. And then read a thriller recommended to you. This was recommended to me by April. I will link her channel up in the cards. This is The Chalk Man by CJ Tudor. I believe the way that this goes is a group of kids one summer begins to draw chalk figures at the end of each other's driveway to tell them, hey, we're going to meet at the park, we're going to meet in the woods, we're going to meet here, we're going to meet there. And then one day a chalk figure is drawn and they all go to one place and find a dead body. Yeah. So it's going to be a hard week. I'm going to be not sleeping, and my poor partner is going to have to put up with my fear and constantly texting and bothering him. I apologize to him ahead of time. I know he doesn't watch these, but I'm apologizing now, and I'll apologize to him today too, just because I will feel pretty bad that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I know I shouldn't do it. I know I probably shouldn't even be involved in Thrillerathon, but I really enjoy thrillers. So that is everything. Those are the books I'm going to be reading. I hope you guys like this TBR. I will talk to you in my next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below. I want to say thank you to my Patreons. I love you all very much, and I will be excited to talk to you guys over on Patreon. If you have any questions, comments, or quandaries, go ahead and leave them in the comment box. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.